Hi guys, I am going to share with you a technology-based activity that I use with students of mine in some undergraduate education courses. The majority of my course load is teaching teachers. Most of those pre-service teachers are elementary educators, although I do from time to time get some middle and high school students as well. I teach a couple of different courses at this level. I have two undergrad courses. One is an elementary math methods course. The other, occasionally I've taught, it's a technology applications in the content course. So in other words, how we might use technology as associated with math and math assessment, data collection, that sort of thing. And this is an activity I've used in all of those. I have also used it in my 509 course, which is a graduate level course that is included in the coursework for students who have come back to school for teaching credentials. They have a degree in something else and they just want to be certified in education. So they have to take a math methods similar to what our undergraduate educators take as well. Okay. So the tool that I'm going to be showing you a little bit about is called Edpuzzle. It's a free assessment-focused tool that allows teachers and students to create interactive online instructional videos. You can choose videos that are pre-made, so something you find on YouTube, or if it's something you create yourself. All of those are possibilities. And you can embed open-ended, multiple choice questions, audio notes, or even comments on the video. Edpuzzle interactive videos can be made with tons and tons of resources out there. The majority of my education students, being that they're elementary, they like to use some of the Math Antics videos, which are instructional, but they're student friendly. There's a lot of humor, bright colors, and interactive language that's appropriate for students that are at that age. Mostly, if this was the technology-based course itself, I would have my students walk through the Edpuzzle Help Center has a training module that you enroll in. I mean, Edpuzzle is not a difficult program to use, but just to know what all of the tools are for to be able to edit your lessons, there is a training module as a teacher you can enroll in for free. You also can have your students you can set up a classroom for your students in here to track who has viewed the video, who has not, how many they've missed, all of those specifics. I chose this tool to share with you because, for a couple of reasons. Number one, right now, everyone is looking for reasonable virtual instruction alternatives. And from my research on the flipped classroom, one of the most valuable things I've learned is that in the flipped classroom, when instruction is moved to outside of the classroom through videos that had the most positive impact on students were interactive. So in other words, students had to respond to them in some way. So Edpuzzle seemed to hit that on the head a little bit more than just passively sitting and watching a video as students viewed instruction. In addition to that, in elementary school, many times learners are broken down into centers so that teachers can work with them individually and one-on-one. And it is nice to be able to have some means of instruction that does not require you as a person to sit right there. Again, this is not something I would use in isolation. Some of my other tech activities that I will be submitting as part of my sequence allow students to collaborate and have number talks and discussions. However, this would just be one part of that aspect. So what I want to show you first is just a little introduction. This is about a 1-minute video that describes what Edpuzzle does and sort of some of the ways that it can be applied.
To create amazing video lessons in minutes, Edpuzzle is your missing piece. With Edpuzzle, you can choose from the millions of videos available from YouTube, National Geographic, TED Talks, Khan Academy, and more. You can also reuse ready-to-go video lessons made by other teachers or upload your very own teaching video. Then, use Edpuzzle's video editor to create your perfect lesson. Embed your own questions to check your students' understanding, Cut sections to show your students only the most important parts of the video, and even record voiceover so you can explain concepts in your own words. Once you've finished, you can assign it to your students in just one click and prevent skipping to make sure your students don't miss a thing. When you want to check in on your students' progress, use Edpuzzle's hassle-free analytics to get all the information you need. See who still needs to watch the video, what your students responded, and their total scores. So remember, with Edpuzzle's free platform, you can make any video your lesson.
Okay, so when my students do this, I usually have the same process set up in every one of the classes that I use this as an activity in. They have to collaborate with their mentor or placement teachers. All of my undergrads are assigned a mentor teacher who they are usually doing somewhere between 25 and 50 observation hours, depending upon the class. They're going to select a math standard. If it is the math methods course, it may be a different standard if they are in just the technology applications course. And they are going to sort of plan out a video lesson using Edpuzzle for that target. They initially submit that to me via Canvas with a date in which that they're going to be piloting this in the classroom and what mechanism they're going to use to solicit feedback from the students. So they are going to let the students give them feedback on how well their video communicated the concept at hand, how well they think they learned. And that's part of what I asked the student to design is what instrument are you going to use to collect this? We all know as teachers, we are constantly designing feedback instruments. So again, that's a good practice for them to do that. At one point, once they have created this video, they can choose a pre-made video and just embed their own questions, or they can create one from scratch. That's up to them. They're going to be partnered with one of their peers in the classroom, and they are going to, once they view that, they're going to give their partner plus delta feedback. So if you're not familiar with what that is, pluses, of course, would be the positives, the things that they really liked. Delta would be the things that they might want to edit or change. Once they have a chance to correct those errors and make some improvements, they're going to pilot that video in the mentor classroom and then gather their feedback from the students and the mentor teacher using the feedback instrument that they designed. And then once that's all been done and that process is complete, they're going to present that to me. Usually we do it via a Zoom meeting because this is a web-based course, or we create a screencast, something along those lines to share our video, what our feedback was, just our reflective thoughts on that process, how we might make it better, what major realizations were, and next steps based on student results. Once they have completed all of that and submitted it, they will then be graded via a rubric, which is attached here at the back of this item. So I'm looking for, does their Edpuzzle match the standard or target that they're supposed to be teaching? If it does not, we have a major problem. There should be no content errors. Edpuzzle is presented in a professional manner. They're using good grammar. What they've chosen is appropriate for the grade level. Edpuzzle questioning demonstration includes varying levels of learning and question types. So not just a bunch of yes or no questions. There can be several different types of questions used in Edpuzzle. And the student exhibits reflection appropriate to the feedback given by the students and the mentor. So I'm looking for them to give thoughtful reflection as to what the students say. For example, if the student says, this was really hard for me, it was hard for me to focus, I didn't like the way this was laid out, I don't expect my educator student to say, well, they're just not capable of knowing what it is that they're supposed to do. Those sorts of things. I want it to be appropriate reflection in terms of the feedback that they're given. And of course, these last few points are just that the student participates fully in the development process. So they're interacting with their peers in class, they're providing feedback, they're being a good support for others, and taking their reflection in a positive manner and moving forward with that. Like I said, if I were to sit here and walk through the tools of Edpuzzle, Edpuzzle is not a difficult tool to use. However, there are many different things that you can do with it. So if it's something that you're interested in using, I'm going to post this. We have, like I said, they have a training module for that's set up just to teach you how to use this, how to edit videos. I've included the link and I'll post that. But if you go to the Edpuzzle Help Center, sign up as a teacher, it will walk you through a training module to get you to the point to where you're comfortable editing, uploading, inserting questions, and getting your own videos created. I actually think this is something that can work at all grade levels. In fact, I just created an Edpuzzle myself for one of my freshman math courses to make sure that since they're doing their lecture basically online right now, that they are interacting with it and actually engaging with the content at this time. So again, I would be happy to hear your feedback and your thoughts on this activity. I hope everyone has a great week. Thanks.